If you've ever dealt with binge eating or macros while traveling, how to actually achieve your body recompositioning goals, or simply just how to balance this fitness journey while also having relationships and career goals and wanting to continuously live in alignment with your deepest desires and wants for your life. Today's podcast episode is for you because today we dive deep into food triggers, lowering your body fat, building muscle, relationship challenges, how to get from 2 to 11 pull-ups, and dive deep into the mindset shifts that are going to lead you from feeling stuck to feeling absolutely unstoppable, on fire, and extreme excitement for everything that you want to move towards in your life. I'm so excited to invite you to one of our coaching calls inside of my Dream Life Society. This was the first call that we had in the September Transformation Challenge. And since we're so close to beginning the October Transformation Challenge, or potentially a new challenge whenever you're listening to this podcast episode, I wanted to give you a little insight as to what it looks like being inside of my community, where you get my workouts, my nutrition, recipe books, journaling challenges, daily motivation inside of our group, and these coaching calls where we dive deep into transforming our bodies, our minds, and our life. If throughout you listening to this episode feel called to join our community or our next transformation challenge, I'll put the link below for you to join us. I would love to welcome you to be a part of our community and coach you and be your friend on this journey as you create your absolute dream life. But without further ado, let's dive into today's coaching conversation call.
I've been going to the gym every day for like a long time, so I definitely think that I can train harder, but I think the focus is just on nutrition. So I know the principles, but I also realize that knowing and actually getting the result there is a gap where you think that you understand and you know everything, but you still can change your behavior. So the focus for me is to just start eradicating overeating. So I eat my healthy meals and I got that part right. But then, when I feel emotional, when I feel sad, I go and get something that I don't even want. And, it definitely doesn't make me feel good because putting the work in the gym, it also affects my confidence when you do the work. And then when you don't eat right, yes, you are kind of strong and it looks better, but you still don't look the way you can.
Is it sweets? Is it salty things? What do you typically go towards?
Yeah, chocolate.
Chocolate. I love chocolate. It's so good. When you don't really need it though, and are you typically done eating for the day, or is it like a midday thing? Could it be both?
Yeah, I would say mostly in the evening after
Okay.
gym.
In the evening, when you've had your meals for the day and you start feeling something within that's making you want to grab that chocolate, what do you actually need in that moment if you were to put your hand on your heart?
My friend, she shared this quote that women or just people eat chocolate when they need love. So I think it's kind of true. Yes, so I live alone now. It's a challenging time. So, you can power through the day, but in the evening, it's okay, this is the end. You just want I guess love. Yes.
I've been there many times. I really understand what you're sharing here. When you need love, we could start with one. What is one way that you could give yourself love? It can involve someone else, but how could you give yourself love?
I think truly just getting past the immediate impulse, especially when you've done a behavior so many times. This is just the go-to, right? Get the chocolate and it's a quick fix. But really aligned action with what I want. I want to be lean. It's very important. And I'm working towards it, but I'm just messing up the small part that sabotages the whole thing. So yeah, I think aligning with what I need to do.
And you can remind yourself of what you need to do in that moment. I think that's powerful. And now we've all heard you and we support you in that. So next time it happens, you can think of all of us really supporting you and sending you love. Is there another action that really feels self-loving? Instead of eating chocolate, could that be taking a warm bath, going on a walk, sitting down with yourself and journaling, writing down 3 things that you did on that day that you feel grateful for? What is something that could feel really loving towards yourself that you could do instead?
It's a great question. So really, the reason why it happens is so I work in Manhattan in New York, and then I go to the gym and I push, and then I'm gonna get on the subway. So this transit, it's yeah, I would love to take a bath or just even cook something small and healthy, but then this like delay of like, oh, I'll be on the subway for like the next 30 minutes kind of like forces me. It's like, oh, I can run into the store, get this. And then, as I'm kind of like super tired and getting home in the dark, it helps me like address that. So yeah, I think it shows that I just need to think of something that I can do while being, up and around in the city.
What could you grab that would feel aligned?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
Okay, but maybe
I'm open to ideas. Yeah.
yeah, no, maybe it's something to sit and reflect on. For me, it would be carrots or an apple because I love that. Because I used to grab chocolate and then I switched the pattern into carrots and apples or something protein if I need protein. But you got to find what feels right to you, right? But it may be worth sitting down today with yourself and you can even brainstorm. We do this like 21 idea brainstorm inside of this community where you write the challenge that you want to solve. And then you come up with 21 ideas as to how you could solve it. And oftentimes it's at that 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 idea that pops up where you're like, okay, that's it. I'm going to do that. So potentially that could be a fun challenge for you to sit with as well today. A little reflection.
Yes, I need to think about it. Thank you so much.
I'm wondering if maybe when you've done that, you'd be willing to write a post inside of the community just so we can support you in you actually making it happen.
Yes, I will.
Yeah. It's oftentimes that one little habit that you called it sabotages your entire progress. And for all of us within different areas, I think it's oftentimes just that one little habit that sabotages all the progress we could have made. So if we can pinpoint it and solve it, bang, boom, bam, we're going to make it happen. It's amazing.
Just like Miriam, I'm very fit and focused during the week. My husband and I, we travel a lot. Like every month we take like a little trip vacation. So I find myself, I'm very good when I'm home and strict kind of, we'll say. But then when we go on vacation or a trip for a week, it's like I'm really good in the first 2 days. And then it's like, okay, now we're eating bad food. We're having some drinks. And it's just like, then by the end of the trip, I'm like, oh, I feel horrible. And so it's just like that process of like reeling it in when I'm gone, because it's going to be, if we're traveling every month, it's got to be like a lifestyle that stays healthy, but we get stuck in the track of not being too healthy.
Yeah.
And just like the mindset of like focused journaling, and I just want to be more
First off,
focused. Yes.
we can help you stay accountable. So
Yeah.
next time you're about to travel, you either shared with us on this call or you shared in the community as a post. And
Mhm.
we're going to be like, we're counting on you to stick to it. That's one part. Second thing, what happens? You say you're consistent for 2 days. What happens on that third day? What's the excuse, let's call it, that you tell yourself that allows you to slowly let go of the thing
Yeah.
that you actually
I think it's like we'll have some drinks and then we're out too late and then you sleep in. So you miss working out maybe in the morning. And then you're just like, oh, now I want a breakfast burrito, or, like it's just like snowballs. And then you're like, well, now I've already had a burrito today. I'll just have another one today.
We can all understand
Yeah.
that. Something I love to do every time before a trip is set some intentions. So let's say you were going on a trip tomorrow. Ideally, when would you be going to bed? Because that's what you're saying is one of the things.
Yeah. Mhm.
How many drinks would you allow yourself to have on any given day? Because that seemed like the second problem. And would you potentially, to be able to sustain this long term, be willing to say, okay, one meal a day, I'm going to be a little more, okay
Mhm.
with whatever? Or would you say 2 days on this vacation, I'm going to allow myself blah, blah, blah. If you can set the intention for those three things, if those are the three things that
Mhm.
tend to mess you up or the lifestyle that you want to have on the vacation, then if you're really clear on that and you commit to that being a non-negotiable, you set it as a screensaver on your phone, maybe you have those reminders and every day you journal just to stay accountable. I don't believe you're going to fail. So if we were to just play that right now, when would you be going to bed on your trips?
9:30,
Amazing. And how many drinks would you be drinking?
2 or 3.
Perfect.
I guess.
And what about the meals? How would you feel would be most aligned for you?
I would say, like you said, 2 days having like a free meal, depending on the trip length, I guess. I could see where you're like, okay, today I'm gonna have a bigger dinner. I don't know, I have to think about this, but yeah. I mean, I like having the intention before going. That's very.
And potentially even bringing a habit tracker so that you can check off every day. Put it
Mhm.
like right when you get there, put it on the whatever mirror in the bathroom. So every day you have that. Do you believe that you could make this happen if you did exactly what you just shared with us?
Oh yeah, I think I could. I think it's all my mental, and even if I journaled during vacation, like in the morning, I think it would set the focus also.
I believe you can too.
Yeah.
And it's just the little things, right? It's
Yeah.
like the intention before, the little
Mhm.
habit tracker, the little little journaling every day. 5 minutes out of a 24-hour day.
And like the working out also, while we're still on it, you know, like you start strong and then you find yourself just going for a walk. Not that walking is bad, but like, you know, like your schedule of working out changes. And either being okay with that or putting in the time to get it done. But if you go to bed early and do all the things, then you would probably get it done. I would.
I feel that every time we allow ourselves to slip a little bit, it's because we're not focused enough on the goal. We forget the goal. So the more, especially inside of the September challenge, the more we every single day, multiple times a day, can remind ourselves and get excited about the goal, the action doing will not even feel hard because we'll be so excited about where we're going. So just a little reminder for all of us, if we're not feeling like we're motivated, have we created enough why as to why it's so important and exciting to reach the goal? Maybe we need to dive a little bit deeper into that. We have the goal setting manual as one of the documents in the challenge, and also the journaling challenges will get you to dive into the goals every single day. So I know this for myself. I need to do that. So I just wanted to remind us all of it.
I have a work trip coming up. I have a couple of small businesses. I'm actually a health coach, but the other business I have is I'm a filmmaker. And a couple times a year, I still do these big adventure travel trips where I'm filming. And so this one is to Patagonia. It's like with a whole bunch of other really fit people. And so my goal has been to make sure I'm in the best shape possible so that I can truly enjoy my time there, the surroundings, while also doing my best work. And so for the last 6 weeks, I've been trying to train with my bike because we're doing like a 50-mile ride and then a 100-mile ride and a big climb and things like that. So I joined the challenge because I thought that this would keep me on track for my fitness goals. And really, I think that the heavier lifting will help me gain the strength that I need to really enjoy and be present in the moment rather than be sore and not well rested and sleeping well. So I think that I struggle a little bit with like actually going into the gym because I prefer to be outside. I like being in nature. And so oftentimes I end up doing more cardiovascular things like biking rather than lifting weights. Really love that when I looked through the app that you have the travel workouts in there and like the various workouts. So I think that's going to be extremely helpful for me to reframe my mindset. And then also like thinking about like the gym as a positive thing rather than like, oh, I have to be in a gym, you know, trying to make some space for reframing that. So I think that like that is kind of a challenge for me. It's just actually wanting to be inside a gym. Not that I have to do all the workouts in the gym, but I think it will be good to like get that back into my routine because once I'm there, I always feel good.
So exciting with everything that's coming up for you. I love it. And I love that you want to reframe the gym as being something that excites you and something that's good. And like you're saying, you don't have to do all the workouts inside at the gym if that's not what you prefer the most. But I would love to help you gain a little bit more excitement towards it. So why do you want to be strong? Why do you want to strength train?
Because it makes me feel really good. I was a gymnast and I cheerleading competitions through college. So I was always very athletic. And then I think, you know, over the last 15 years of being, you know, probably 10 of them, I was traveling nonstop and working. And I feel like that like always made me feel good, but I was also like kind of exhausted because going from one place to another and shifting time zones and things like that can be challenging. But since I kind of slowed down with that work, I also have a travel company for food lovers. So we've been doing a lot of that work right now. So a lot of my work is behind a computer right now. And it's not the lifestyle that I used to have that was like constantly moving and being out in nature. So I've tried to put myself in that where I live in the suburbs. It's been a little bit challenging. And so I used to find that easy, like it was just easy for me to be active and, you know, on hikes and because it was part of what I did for a living. And now that I'm behind a computer planning other people's adventures so often, I find myself like, okay, I need to like set an alarm or like make sure, you know, because it's so easy to get wrapped up in work. I love what I do with all the things, but making sure that I make the space and the time for that.
I love that. And I'm just looking at Kelly right now. She is walking on her
Love it.
pad. I have one too, and I know so many inside of this community have. Okay, this is weird next level. So I'm not saying anyone should do this, but I love bringing my laptop to the gym and working while I'm at the gym. I get my workout in and then I always have some work afterwards and I bring my computer and it just gets like the energy from the gym and me standing and working on the computer. It just hypes me up. I also sometimes will do it on my phone if I'm able to do that, but you could be as weird as me or some things maybe you can do on your phone while you're walking at the gym. Maybe you can get a walking path, just as a couple little ways for you to stay active while you're working if you do have a lot of work. But next time you want to go to the gym and do a workout there and you feel that resistance, do you have a clear visual, clear emotion feeling of what it feels like to be as strong and fit as you'd like to be? Do you have an alter ego you can step into, someone that represents what you want to feel?
Yeah, I think it's the version of myself that I was at one point. So I very much know who that feels like. And I just know, like I think in the last, year, I injured my foot a year ago, and that kind of threw me off track first and foremost. And I've definitely gotten out of that. But I think like over the last 6 weeks, I'm starting to like really feel like that person again. And I'm like, oh, there she is. There's energy that used to be there. So that's really helpful. So I think I dig deep and I'm like, okay, I see that person, like there she is, that is coming out with me more and more. So that's kind of what I look to.
Amazing. So I don't know how you feel, but if next time when you feel like you don't want to go do the gym workout, if you sit with yourself for just 1 minute, close your eyes and tune into that version of yourself, do you think that could excite you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Would you be willing to do that this week?
Yes, I will. I'm
And
gonna, it's like a little mini meditation kind of.
yeah, but inside of the membership, we have some extra videos and meditations, and I have a bunch of future me meditations, which guide you through either stepping into that highest version of yourself, meeting your future self, different ways that you can connect to that highest version of yourself. So you could try some of those meditations if you like as well. There's also a new 5-minute one that I made. Lisa from the community, she asked for like a little 5-minute, let's get motivated, let's become this future version of yourself meditation. So that's new as well this week. You can find that inside of also From Hard to Flow journal or inside of the membership. It's going to be both places. It's like a 5-minute quick little thing that hopefully could get you to feel that.
Thank you so much.
Hi.
Hi.
I have been working out for years and been following a great program, but I saw you on Instagram, and I love the way that you also use the podcasts and with the business mind, and yeah. I think my issue is that I am fit, but I want to get more lean. I have been trying to like eating less calories for the summer, and it has been going great, but then I have just had weeks of overeating because I was only eating like 1,200 to 1,500 calories a day, of course. And now I think I have to eat more to have more energy.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's difficult because I have kids, so I also want to show them that I can eat candy and I can eat sugar and stuff like that. So I have a hard time finding a balance for it.
When it comes to your macros, I would love for you to eat higher calories than what you've been doing. And I don't know if you've gone through the nutritional guide, but if you have and you've calculated your macros and you're uncertain, or you just want us to dive into it together, if you'd be willing to write it as a post inside of the community, then I could go through it with you. And, if I see anything that I think we should change, then we could do that together. I'd love to help support you in that. Let's say you eat 1,600 calories, let's say. That's still a good amount of deficit for most people, especially because you're going to be doing the workouts and you're saying that you've been working out for many years. So if you do 1,600 calories, what's really important for it to make you feel satiated and full is eating a high amount of protein. I don't know, have you been good about getting enough protein?
I've been eating about 110 to 120 grams of protein.
That's very good. And you've done that even if you were at 1,200 calories?
I tried to do it, but it's of course harder. Yeah. So it was about, I think I was just trying to get more than 60 grams. And I know that's not quite enough. Yeah.
No, I would definitely not get lower than 100 grams, especially if you are trying to shift your body composition.
Yeah.
Protein is really, really important. I eat 160 grams. If I do 100, I can see a difference in how my body changes over time. So when you share your height and weight and macro calculations, I'll be able to help you further. But I just wanted to mention that the protein is really, really important. Another thing, just as a little side note, when our body digests protein, it digests protein differently than carbs and fat. So it actually, during digesting it, it burns more calories. So it comes out to less calories when you're eating protein than when you're eating carbs and when you're eating fats. So as a little side note. And it also, many people in this community, they're like, I started eating 140 grams of protein, and now I feel so full that I can't even eat all the food that I need to eat. So it really satiates you in a different way. When it comes to really recompositioning your body, I want to challenge you this month, but we could start with this next week. When you're doing the workouts, since you've been working out for so long, it really does take you to push yourself to the limit, as in do 20% more than what you previously have done, to be able to really break down the muscle for it to rebuild itself and become stronger. Because if we can really make massive progress within your lean mass this month, you'll be able to see a difference together with the leaner nutrition. Every time I've leveled up my fitness game, I've had to remind myself that, okay, well, that just means if I want to continue to make progress, I need to push myself that much further. So this week, if you can really just, when you think you're done, 1 more, 2 more, 3 more, 5 more reps than where you normally would have stopped. If you do that for
Yeah.
a single set, you're going to feel sore, but you're also going to be able to see a massive progress. I really believe that, especially if you stay on track with that protein.
Okay.
Hello, Pernilla.
So good to see your smiley face. How are you doing?
Good, good. And for those of you that are new, I've been following Pernilla for a while, and it has been absolutely transformational in my life and how I feel, in how what I do day to day. It has really changed my life. So you guys are in for a treat in this program.
You're amazing. You've inspired all of us with all the changes you've made. You set a goal and you've stuck to it, even with so many challenges coming up throughout the journey. It's been incredible to witness, really.
And thank you for that inspiration and for that community. Like someone was saying earlier, is one thing to intellectually know. What I was missing was that community and that motivation and that action to actually go there and make those things. And once you do that and you see real change, that is very motivating.
It's amazing.
I wanted to pick your brain and get your advice about something. And from you and from anyone else on this group, I would love to pick your brain on this is about how do you manage relationships where different people have different perspectives. So on the one hand, for me, it has been transformational to change my habits and to change my life. Being able to track my food to make sure that my actions align with what I want and my choices and all of that. That has really transformed my life, and I have lost weight and I feel good and I feel energized. That has been very, very nice. And I absolutely recognize I'm very like live and let live. This is what it works for me personally. And for other people, other things might work for them. And I'm happy to support them with whatever ways works for them. I'm definitely having a difference in perspective with my girlfriend, and she's absolutely incredible and amazing. She's so supportive and loving and caring. She's really incredible. And what she's telling me is that she sees me measuring my food and tracking my calories, a lot of all of this, and she feels stressed out. She's telling me that growing up, she had issues with like her body image and eating and all of that. And like society puts all this pressure in women. So I definitely understand that she had these things going on. And I think now her perspective is more like, well, she might keep an eye on some things here and there, but she's not gonna track things, and she's gonna be happy with herself and her weight and her body and however it is. And I absolutely support that. I tell her like I love her very much, no matter how much she weighs, no matter what she looks like. I absolutely love her, and I absolutely am there with her to support her. But then she tells me that just from seeing me, that osmosis, that I'm like measuring my food and keep tracking all of my stuff, and again, that brings me so much joy and so much life. But her seeing that to me, even if I'm not trying to convince her, just seeing me brings stress her out, because that brings up some issues emotionally that she had from growing up. So I'm not too sure what to do, and I know you guys are very wise and have a lot of experience. So any ways that about like handling those different perspective and that relationship, I think that would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you for sharing that. And I think it's something that most of us can relate to. I definitely can, because when we start doing these things that maybe are a little outside of what normal people do, it can be viewed as unacceptable in some people's eyes. But in your situation, it's because it's triggering to your girlfriend, and that's something to obviously take seriously as well. I would love to hear people's thoughts on this. my mom's voice is coming to my head. She's a psychotherapist and a psychologist and works with people on with many things, and I have a bunch of conversations with her about these subjects. And what she always shares with me is that, first of all, if you can have a conversation with your girlfriend where you ask her, okay, I want to support you. I want to not do anything to overly trigger you. I want to really be loving and find a solution with you here. I want to continue to track my food because it brings me happiness. You feel triggered when I track my food. Is there a way that we could come together and find a way so that I can keep doing what makes me happy and you can continue living the life in a way that makes you happy? Because it's triggering her. It really has to do with some things she needs to heal within her, right? I'm not saying it's good or it's bad to track food. There's no right or wrong. Whatever, like you were sharing, it's good to do exactly what makes you feel good. But since it's triggering her, it's most likely something that she needs to heal within herself. Now comes what my mom would share as a therapist, is that if she's like, I just want you to stop tracking food. We can't live our life as people pleasers and live our life to please others and have that destroy our happiness. Because you're sharing it brings you happiness, you can't completely stop doing this thing that has brought you so much joy in your life to make someone else happy. You can come together with them and find a way that it can work with both of you. And maybe you sit down together and do the 21 idea brainstorm so that you can find solutions that work for both of you. And it may take days to come to this solution, but I believe there's always a solution. And maybe even doing that practice can help you find some new awareness as to what's actually going on within her. Is it because maybe deep down she wished that she could stick to whatever she sets herself? It could be many, many different things. Maybe it makes her realize, wait, I actually think I want to start therapy because it would really help me and heal this part of myself.
Yeah, Miguel, thank you so much for all you do in the community. And I echo what Pernilla said. And she said exactly where I was thinking about that with the having the conversation with your girlfriend. It may be, do you just want me to hold space for you to tell me that that is triggering for you, but that I can still go track my food? You just wanted to tell me? You want to let me know? There may not be follow-up action. My fiance gets up and does his treadmill every morning. Sometimes I work out with him at his time and sometimes I don't. And I used to feel bad about that. But once I realized he was going to do it because that makes him happy, I was just like, okay, I'll figure out my workout on my own time. So yes, absolutely everything Pernilla said, and not being a people pleaser, but also it might not have to be a conflict if you're just like, do you just want me to acknowledge that?
Love that, Kelly.
Thank you so much, Pernilla and Kelly, for sharing that. That is so valuable. And I am absolutely guilty of being a people pleaser. I think that is something that I definitely experienced. So I think it really helps me to remind myself of what's important for me, what I do in life. Because I think exactly like you're saying, Pernilla, it's easy to say, oh, I'm just going to do this because my parents want it, or I'm just going to do this because my teachers want it. And then at some point you realize, oh, I'm unhappy because I feel like I'm not really true to myself. So I think that's very important. And I think it's absolutely how you're saying, like, well, maybe there is a way that I can be true to myself while I am also supporting her, whether that is with space, listening to her, or getting her to understand more of her thoughts and feelings. I think that's worth having follow-up conversations with her.
That sounds beautiful. And it sounds like you're just supporting her in anything that's good for her. And that's a beautiful place to come from, because maybe some people, they'd be like, well, you shouldn't even think that it's bad that I'm doing this because it's good. You're not fighting her, you're team with her, wanting to find the best solutions. And I think that's beautiful.
I know I'm the weird one here, that I'm like tracking my food and tracking my sleep. I'm bringing my work to the gym. I'm 100% sure I'm the weird one here. So I'm trying to stay true to myself while also supporting her. I want both of us to be happy. So I think that's definitely worth a good follow-up conversations to have with her.
That sounds amazing. And if you think you're weird, we're all here being weird with you.
I've had this similar situation as well, and one thing which really helped me is trying to find out that exact situations where we get into these kind of conflicts. The one thing which I noticed is it happens a lot when we go out for dinner, and I'm very particular about what I'm eating, and then that kind of spoils the experience for her as well, kind of thing. So I think one thing what I've started doing is even before we head out for dinner, I tell her upfront, like, hey, these are the things I'm not going to do the dessert, or these are the things I'm not up for, kind of things. I've set the expectation so that it's not like you go there and then, she's blindsided that, no, I don't want to do desserts or something like that. Just simple things like over communicating or saying something in advance will at least will avoid putting you in that kind of a situation, right? So otherwise it will look like you are being the difficult person in that situation.
I love that. Having the conversation beforehand. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
I just wanted to share one good thing. So I finished the August and I dropped a couple of centimeters in some of my problem areas. So super excited about it.
Congratulations
Yeah,
again.
thanks. Yeah. And I did the photos and I did the comparison. I was like, you don't realize it unless you actually take the pictures. And I was like, wow,
Right?
this is really nice.
Good reminder
Because
for everyone to
yeah. And the interesting part is I didn't lose any weight. My weight has been pretty stable, and I like my weight. I don't want to be looking too skinny. So, but overall, I think I've done that little bit of that body recomp, whatever I was trying to do.
build some muscle. That's
I know.
amazing.
Yeah, so very happy about that. And yeah, just want to keep going. This is my third challenge. I started in July, August, and super excited about this. So you asked us to do the three things, right? Personal, fitness, and mission. So I was thinking about the mission part. I think that's where I want help from the community this month. I've been trying to do this, side gig, which apart from my regular job in the tech industry, and I've been not really been able to put some time into it. So one of the last calls I attended, I think it was Lavisa. Somebody was saying that, hey, just put the first hour of your day into your business and then try to do it. So that was a great insight. Thank you so much for that advice. So I've been trying to follow that and made good progress. And I really having a tough time kind of trying to balance the work and my own business thing. Doing research about my business really makes me very energized and empowered because I feel like, oh, this is a way to get out of this rat race 9 to 5. It's so hard for me to actually, see the results immediately when you start, right? So you have to keep plugging in. Just wondering, like a lot of entrepreneurs here, people who are doing their own thing and not the typical 9 to 5. How do you keep yourself motivated and how do you keep plugging in? So,
Reminding yourself of your why, your goal, why you're doing this. Reminding yourself that every single successful human in this world have gone through failure after failure after failure. The more you fail, the more chances of success you will have. And most of the time, the people who've had the most failures are the ones who've become the most successful because they've built this resilience that comes from putting in the hours and the hours and the hours and the hours, no matter what comes from it. It's also feedback, right? If something isn't working, what am I missing? How can I continue to evolve and improve within this thing I'm doing? But continuously reminding yourself of where it is that I'm going. And also, last thing I'll say is the people who've succeeded in doing this thing that I'm trying to do, what are they doing that I'm not doing? Because oftentimes we can be blindsided on our own work. But if we actually put honesty comparison towards them, we should not be like anyone else. We should put our own personal twist on everything. But sometimes it could be, let's say it has to do with video creation. Is my quality the same level? Like it doesn't have to be a professional camera. Like an iPhone is more than enough you typically need. Or like, is the script better thought through? Is it like there's things that you can look at and really be brutally honest with yourself as to what are they doing that I'm not doing? Are they making 100 sales calls a day and I'm only making 3? Like what is different? Because once you have the clear answer and like really honest truth, then you can look at, okay, how could I make slight shifts and changes towards it? Does anyone else have thoughts on that?
I do. It was basically the same way that I did fitness. Instead of focusing on the result, I was like, how many inputs can I put in? It's like, if I can do 1 hour a day or 4 hours a day, which I was doing while I had my full-time job, I was just like, if I can do this every single day, knowing that at some point that'll turn into something else, then I've done my work. I don't need to see the feedback from the actual work at that moment in time.
I think, Pernilla, what you said, it's like consistency. I've been having my own, I started my first business 15 years ago, and my second business joined in with my business partner 10 years ago now. And it's so like, if you're not consistent and like you're doing something this week and then you don't do it the next week, it's so the consistency and then the iteration, like you said, like it's not working. Why is it not working? And not changing everything, but changing one thing and seeing if that affects the outcome. And then if that doesn't work after a period of time, trying one other thing rather than changing everything. That would be my feedback to you.
Thank you.
My problem is like one of those like first world problems people talk about. For the life of me, like I just cannot eat enough food. Like I'm trying so hard to get like at least 100 grams of protein a day, and it is like a battle to like, I just feel like my body cannot even like hold that much food during the day. And I keep trying to do like small amounts like every week, just trying to increase. And I feel like I am just so stuck at like just like a certain amount of food that I'm like, I'm not getting enough protein. I'm not getting enough carbs for my workouts and stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't know how much more food my body can hold, like before it's just like too much. And then I feel awful and bloated the whole day.
The first thing that kept coming to me when you were speaking was smoothies, because you can pack so much calories and protein in a smoothie, but it doesn't feel as heavy necessarily as like a whole meal would, even though it can have the same amount of calories. If you need the extra protein, like egg whites has so much protein. And if you add 1 cup of egg whites with some whole eggs, that has a lot of calories as well. Things like salmon or beef, like the foods that have a little extra fat in them as well, the proteins that have a little.
Yeah, because I feel like it's like you mentioned earlier, like protein is so satiating. So I get so full from eating it that like I forget to eat for like the whole day because I'm just so full. So I definitely like can try a smoothie as like an additive to try because it's almost different like drinking something versus eating it. But I was just curious like if that's ever happened to like you or anybody in the group of just like I feel like I just don't have any more room to eat food and I don't want to force myself to keep eating and then like feel bloated and crappy or like have like too much going in my system.
When I eat a very high amount of vegetables, I do tend to get that overfullness, that bloatedness. If it's like overdoing it, I eat a lot of vegetables, as most of you guys know. But like if you like overdo it, I don't know if you eat a lot of vegetables or if that's not really a problem.
I mean, I try to eat like most meals, it's like I try to do like the 30 grams of protein, like I can't remember the exact number for like carbs and stuff, but like I try to eat some of it as vegetables just because vegetables are technically carbs. But I try to eat more of like some of the vegetables that aren't as like won't like bloat from water. Like I know broccoli will absorb a lot of water or like cauliflower, but like I love to eat carrots, I love to eat asparagus. So I think I try to use mainly veggies that aren't gonna like bloat inside me, just because I feel
Yeah.
like I do notice more when I eat those that as much as I love cauliflower, sometimes I notice like after I don't feel the greatest because of that. So I do try to kind of say like the leaner veggies, I guess you could say, but I definitely would rather eat veggies than like rice a lot of times just because rice is so filling. So I definitely focus higher on the protein and the veggies as carbs versus like adding in rice and stuff like that after.
I never give this advice because typically I hear the opposite than what you're sharing right now.
Yeah.
So I typically don't say this, but to you, because you have the challenge you do have, it may be worth actually doing a little less vegetables and more of the rice, because when it comes to filling your stomach, the amount of vegetables you can have for the little bit amount of rice, I do think it would be easier for you to get the calories in that you need. Maybe
Okay.
you want to be willing to try it and see how it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can try that. I honestly was like, I thought you were gonna tell me less protein. I was gonna be like, what?
No, no, no. That is not the advice I would give.
No, yeah, I can try that. Because yes, like if I do rice or like sweet potatoes, it is a smaller portion for the amount of carbs. So I can try that
I'm
versus
I'm
mainly
thinking
veggies.
about the bodybuilders I surround myself, like 16,000 calorie diets. They're thinking
Yeah,
like, how can I get the most amount of food?
right.
And I watch be like overly full afterwards, but it's like it's the smoothies that are loaded. It's the not a lot of vegetables, but more so like regular rice. Because if they had to eat that much from vegetables, like it would be impossible. Like 6,000.
Right.
It's insane.
Yeah. Because
So
I know my brother tried to do like cauliflower rice. And he's like, you just can't eat enough of it if you're trying to get that many calories and that many carbs
Yeah.
versus like eating a cup of rice.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
I just wanted to say I
Hi,
got
Grace.
11
I
pull-ups.
guess. Yes, 11 pull-ups. What in the world? That's so crazy. You were
That was
like,
awesome.
I'll try to get 10. And then you do freaking 11. Not even like you're, oh my gosh, that's wild. And you went from 2 to 3 to 11.
Yeah, I went from like not knowing if I could do pull-ups. Like I was doing chin-ups like a year ago. And then I was like, oh, I could do like 2, 3 pull-ups. And then a year later, now I'm at 11.
Because you've been sticking to the plan. And you even had a month where were just going with the flow.
Yeah,
And
I
then
like
you came back. It's not even been, has it been exactly a month since you came back and was like, let's go get it?
No, not even a month. Less than a month.
Shows that rest sometimes can be even more beneficial if we've been overloading the system.
Yeah, and it was interesting because there was one day where I was close to getting, I was like at like 8 or whatever, but I just wasn't feeling like on it. And so for the rest of the workout, I just did like banded pull-ups or whatever, and I just like overdid it. And then I didn't do pull-ups for the last week, which was hard to like not do it. And I was just like, I want to test it out. But I was like, let me wait till I actually feel rested. And then I got up and I was like, well, that worked. So
That's
it was
amazing.
way easier.
Something just as a little note to that. Sometimes when we train after 2 days, let's say, our muscles may have recovered, but our nervous system has not. If our nervous system hasn't fully recovered, we won't be able to push ourselves to the fullest. So what you allowed yourself to do, what it sounds like, is not just let your muscles recover, but also let your nervous system recover, which made you then be able to do the 11 pull-ups, which is incredible.
That's cool.
Yeah, really cool. Just a little note for all of us. If we're like, last week I was able to do, or like 2 days ago I was able to do whatever, and now I'm only able to, it may not be because your muscles aren't recovered, but your nervous system. Yeah.
That's really cool. I was like in regards to like what Hazel said, I think I've gone from total 33% body fat down to like 18.4 at my lowest. I'm at like 20% right now. I'm like, I know I haven't been doing what I was doing like for 4 months ago when I was at that. But I'm like, even that, it's still a lot in a year.
It's insane. It's 15% when you were at your lowest.
Yeah.
3 to 18.
Yeah.
What? That's amazing.
So
You also said in your post the other day, you said you feel like you're in the best shape of your life.
Yes. Like that's the best part is like I feel good.
Yeah.
Thanks for the plan that actually works.
Thank you for doing it. You're the one who showed up every single week. It's freaking incredible. It's so inspiring to. I'm so grateful for you guys. I'm so grateful. It's so exciting. It really. Thank you so much for listening to this community chat inside of my Dream Life Society. I hope you found some of our conversations useful and that you could relate to these challenges that we're all going through and that we're all navigating and working through together inside of my Dream Life Society. If you want to join us, I'll put the link below for you to join our next transformation challenge, or you can also just join the membership at any time when you feel called. I hope you go out there today and take ownership and control of these daily actions, these daily habits, and you set yourself up for success by setting the intentions before the challenges even arise. Thank you so much for being a part of this Challenge Your Norm community. I hope you have a beautiful day. If you feel called to leave a review or subscribe or share it with a friend, it would mean the absolute world to me if you found it in any way useful. And I just hope you go out there and have a beautiful day. And as always, remember that in order for you to grow, you have to challenge your norm. Bye.